We spend a lot of time talking about how leaders should lead their teams. But what happens when you're not the leader? What happens when you're working for someone who is inconsistent, reactive, controlling, disengaged, or simply not equipped to lead effectively? Today, I want to talk about a reality many professionals face, but few discuss openly. And that is how to manage up and survive a difficult leader without losing your confidence, your credibility, or your career. If you're new to this channel, welcome to the Leadership Shift. I'm Sonia Jenkins, Leadership Development Coach. And before we dive in, if you find leadership content like this helpful, please take a moment to subscribe and like this video. It helps the channel grow and allows us to continue creating practical leadership content to help leaders navigate real workplace challenges. Let's get into it. At some point in your career, you've probably worked for a leader who made work harder than it needed to be. Maybe they struggled with communication. Maybe they avoided difficult conversations. Or maybe they created confusion, inconsistency, or unnecessary stress. When that happens, the first inclination for many people is to withdraw. We stop speaking up. We stop contributing. We keep our heads down, collect our paycheck, and simply try to survive. And others become frustrated and start looking for the nearest exit. While there are certainly times when leaving is the right decision, there are also times when we still have opportunities to learn, grow, and position ourselves for future success, even in less than ideal circumstances. So today, I want to share 5 practical strategies that can help you navigate a difficult leader, protect your professional reputation, and move from simply surviving to thriving. One of the quickest ways to become frustrated is to spend your energy trying to change a leader who is unwilling or unable to change. Tip number 1, stop trying to change them. You cannot control another person's behavior. You can, however, control your response. Instead of asking, "How do I get them to change?" ask, "What can I influence? What can I control? What is the most productive response available to me right now?" Focus your energy where it can make a difference. Tip 2, learn their communication and decision-making style. Even difficult leaders tend to have predictable patterns. Pay attention to how they process information. Do they prefer details or summaries? Do they make decisions quickly or need time to think? Are they more receptive in meetings or one-on-one conversations? Managing up is often less about agreement and more about understanding how to communicate effectively within the environment you have. Tip 3, protect your professional reputation. Do not allow someone else's leadership limitations to diminish your professionalism. Continue showing up with integrity. Follow through on commitments. Communicate clearly. Document important decisions and conversations when appropriate. And remember, your reputation is one of your most valuable career assets. Protect it. Tip 4, build a strong support network. Difficult leaders can make people feel isolated. That's why it's important to build connections beyond your immediate manager. Seek out mentors. Build relationships with trusted peers. Invest in professional networks. Consider coaching or professional development opportunities. Sometimes the perspective you need doesn't come from your leader. It comes from the people who help you see beyond the situation. And finally, tip 5, know when you've outgrown the environment. Not every difficult situation is meant to be endured forever. There is a difference between growth through challenge and stagnation through circumstance. If you've done your best to influence positively, maintain your professionalism, continue to develop your skills, and the environment remains unhealthy or limiting, it may be time to ask a difficult question. Am I still growing here? Or am I simply surviving? Sometimes the healthiest leadership decision you can make for yourself is recognizing when it's time to pursue a different opportunity. So here's my closing reflection. Working for a difficult leader can test your patience, your confidence, and even your sense of professional identity. But here's what I hope you'll remember. Their leadership does not define your leadership. Their limitations do not determine your future. And their behavior does not have to dictate your growth. Some of the strongest leaders I've met developed their leadership philosophy not because they worked for great leaders, but because they worked for difficult ones and learned exactly what they did and did not want to become. So before we close, I'd like to leave you with a question. What is this experience teaching you about the kind of leader you want to be? Because sometimes the greatest lesson isn't found in the leader we're following. It's found in the leader we're becoming. Thank you for joining me for another Leadership Shift conversation. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who may need the encouragement. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep leading with intention.